All right, everybody, welcome in to the Pony Express Endurance for Amateurs series here at Daytona Motor Speedway. I am James Riles in the booth by myself tonight, but we got a lot of fun action for you as you're watching Paul Skip take his qualifying laps as we're going to get started very shortly here for you folks. So again, welcome in. Pony Express hosting this awesome race for you at the Daytona International Speedway. Configuration is the road course. Fast track, 71 degrees under the lights today. This 3.54 mile track. Gonna have a lot to offer here, folks, as we're gonna be racing for about an hour and 40 minutes. So, got to go out there and really be consistent, and we'll see what happens as all the times are in, and it looks like, as you guys can see, Paul Skip surprised up there with a 1.42.55 in the GT3A class. But Denny Diaz in the 420 putting up a pole, 142.28. So far, not too many people have not qualified. I believe Terry Cowger Jr. is taking his first lap. Or just took his second lap with a 142.4.55. But folks, let us know who you're here to watch. Let us know what you are excited to do, as we've got Atticus Middleton. Freaking out my SDK. No worries there. So be sure to let us know who you're watching. You can cheer on your driver in the chat. We love to see that. We love to see you guys hang out with us. That's what we're here to do. It's just going to be me in the booth tonight. So anything you can say, bring it up in conversation. Definitely helps me out. As that is quite the kerfuffle going on there with Atticus Middleton having some connection issues. Bryce Anderson in the Porsche, taking his turn right now. So it's been a fun season, folks, here at the Pony Express Endurance for Amateurs Racing. These guys have spent a lot of time practicing for today. It's odd track. It's got a lot of different ins and outs. In fact, you know what? Why don't we go ahead and bring in somebody to kind of talk to us a little bit more than I go talk to, if we can get him. Dennis. Hey, Dennis, it's James in the booth. You got me?
Hey, hold up. Let me mute. There we go.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. I didn't know I got you right in the middle of the driver's meeting, but I'm sure you know what they're going to talk about, right?
Yeah, I'm more than aware.
All right, good deal. So, Dennis, I just want to say congratulations on the pole so far. Why don't you tell us about the track and how it's feeling?
Track is cool. Technically this is supposed to be grip, but the car feels like it's sliding all over the place. So, prepared to see a lot of people sliding on exit. That's probably where a lot of people are going to be caught up in. The drafting is going to prevent a lot of people from running away, including me. So I'm going to be spending the entire race trying to defend pole position, and then we'll see where it goes from there. It's going to be a double stop, and all fuel is going to be needed. It's a big fuel burn track, so hopefully I can keep first place by the end of the hour and 40 minutes.
Definitely. Well, I know last week was a little bit of a heartbreaker for you, but hopefully, are you bringing that into this week at all, or are you just running your race?
No, I'm running the race. I'm leading in the points, and I need to be leading when I leave here. So
definitely. Well, again, congratulations on the fast time, and hopefully you can make it stick, sir.
thank you. Let's see how it goes.
That was Dennis Diaz, currently your pole sitter. So we're going to see, folks, how we do. Full field here today. We got about 33 cars for you guys. We are sure excited. There's going to get gridded up. That beautiful Porsche going to start them out as the lights are on here in Daytona, folks. We are excited about it. I know you guys are too at home. CL Burke says go K Berquist. Where's Ultimate? Wondering where we're at. Where are we at? Hashtag go Gary. I'd like to see that. Like it. Hashtag go Gary. Let's get this thing rolling, folks. We're going to be very shortly. Get about maybe a minute here left to grid once everybody gets lined up. The grid is going to look like in the A class going to be Dennis Diaz, Doug Buchanan, Bryce Anderson, Terry Calger Jr., David B. Lemon, Brad McCombs, Sean Atkins. In 8th, going to be Jimmy Covert, Luis Rivera Colon. In the 9th, Curtis Kelly, 10th, Tyler Lannenberg. There in 11th, Matt Odell, 12th, Kevin Delia, 13th, Josh Klinger, going to be in 2nd position. Derek Sherman, 15th, Nick Watson, 16th, and in 7th is going to be Nick Terrell. In the GT3A class, we have Paul Boyle and Paul Skip starting out. Paul Skip actually starting in 3rd. He's pretty far up there right now, and with the GTE cars, but they'll sort that out. Mark Thomas going to be in 3rd. He won the GT3A series last week. Carl Handwerk, 4th. 5th of the GT3As is Keith Roycroft. Daniel Hingley is going to be 6th. Jeff Ripley, Marcus Osborne, Nicholas Paletti, Mark Herzog, Aaron Claybaugh, Gary Schilling, Kevin Berquist, and Daniel Barnett. Going to be the last ones in the GT3As. In the GT3Bs, we've got Mark Dillon, Zachary Nurnberger, Roger Schenk, Thaddeus Marshall, William Alcala, Gareth McAllister, Connor Daly, Dave Fiera, Zachary Purcell, Timothy Emmanuel, and Atticus Middleton not taking a lap. So, everybody's going to get sorted out here. They're going to go single file, let that outside line catch back up. Or they start single file. These guys do have a no passing rule. They are not allowed to pass until the end of turn 1. So the green flag is technically out. The GTEs are going to take it away first. Doug Diaz going to get moving. Doug Buchanan behind him. Paul Skip actually moving with the GT3s, even though he is a GTA driver, I believe. Oh, making the jump today. He's actually not. He's just scored as one for some reason. Paul Boyle is going to lead around the GT3Bs, or A's, I'm sorry. Tongue twister, here we go. Mark Thomas behind him, Carl Handwerk. Oh, we already got an issue. Brad McCombs turned. He's going to try and get that thing going before the GT3A cars get there. And then the GT3B cars are rolling as well. So everybody doing some work. Bryce Anderson, Doug Buchanan getting a little battle going on. Bryce Anderson, Terry Calger, as Doug Buchanan is actually off track. We're going to see a lot of that as we move through this race, folks. Hard to set up a car that has to run on a super speedway and its infield. as Dennis Diaz stepping out about a second and a half. He's got Bryce Anderson behind him. Paul Skip there as well. Terry Calger, David B. Lemon. Bryce Anderson getting past there with the draft. We got that correct now. Oh, big crash. Daniel Higley. Zach Purcell involved. Kevin Berquist. Daniel Barnett. Timothy Emmanuel. Big issues there. I don't have much to go on with that, folks. I can't really see what's the haps. Here we got a battle. Sean Atkins and Bryce Anderson as Tony Watson has crashed. As Mark Thomas currently sitting in 10th of his class. If there's any damage on the 150 of Mark Thomas. Very unfortunate for him. Josh Klinger is going to work past Matt Odell. Here for 11th in the GTE. They're behind Kevin Delia. There we go. Josh Klinger is going to work by him. We're going to see a pretty stout battle here of GTE cars. A little mid-pack action going on. We're going to go on board with Matt Odell. Kind of showing us what he's dealing with in this plaid machine. Got everybody. He's got a group behind him, a group ahead of him in GTE. Listen to that motor. You really got to be careful here at Daytona. Wait for those passing zones. You're going to have the opportunity if you are quicker, especially through the bus stop coming up here. Oh, Jimmy Covert off track. Bryce Anderson, David Lemon getting in a drag race to the stripes there. Give it to Bryce Anderson for now. Oh, no, he gets turned. Bryce Anderson turned in front of Sean Atkins and Terry Calger. Looked like a little bit of netcode there. Not sure what was going on there, but it looked like to be netcode for me. And this battle's still hot and heavy. Doug Buchanan, Derek Sherman, Curtis Kelly, Brad Combs, all battling for this 9th spot is what's going to start it out. There we go. Kevin Delia trying to get to the inside of Josh Klinger. He's going to get fanned out. Big left coming on. He's going to get the advantage, make the pass on Josh Klinger. Now it's up to Josh to slingshot, but you really got to watch what you're doing at this straightaway. They called it straightaway at this high banked oval portion. There's a good bump there. Let him know he's there. This is the hardest part of the track, folks. Different variations in braking, different setups can really affect how you go through these portions of the track that are designed to really slow you down. These bus stops. And on the track map where everybody's at. Of course, this does vary from the NASCAR setup. The NASCAR setup does have one more little chicane there that it runs through. We're watching Josh Klinger. So in your GTE series, it's Denny Diaz, Terry Calker Jr., and Paul Skip up there. In the GT3 A series, we've got Carl Handwerk, Jeff Ripley, and Marcus Osborne, your 1, 2, 3. Mark Dillon, Zachary Nurnberger, and Roger Shank, your top 3 in the B series. As you'll see, SDK going crazy because it cannot load all these different things at once. Not very intelligent. It's alright. We love it anyways. There's Tyler Landenberg trying to make a move on Bryce Anderson through the bus stop here. Bryce just a little bit quicker through the first segment. That's really going to help him out. Got a battle here in the GT3 series. Derek Sherman in the GT3 Corvette. Trying to, or the GTE Corvette, trying to make his way by Aaron Clayball and Paul Boyle. And guys, if you see that up there, if you see the listing kind of messing up, don't worry about it. What that is iRacing is unable to drag all these cars. Once they spread out, it will not draw all of them. So SDK loses its mind there. No worries. We're seeing a lot of mid-pack battles here in both series. This is between Mark Herzog, Nicholas Paletti, Aaron Clayball, and Paul Boyle. All getting grouped up here. This is a relatively long track, folks. 1 minute and 43 seconds around, but it's a long distance. It's not too technical. This is one of the tracks you can see from the track map. Not too many turns. I mean, you can say 1, 2, possibly 3. That first little hook, but I would just count that as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 turns. More or less here. I don't know what the experts have to say about it. It's worth a Google. So, not a super technical track. That's really why it's a fan favorite. Everyone likes to come here. We, of course, iRacing ran the 24 hours of Daytona earlier this year. As one of their special events. It was one where they actually had to give out waivers and have tickets because it was so popular. Everybody was so happy to see those, see them start doing those special events every week. So they had to open up different sessions than they originally had intended because it actually crashed the iRacing server. So very interesting little tidbit of information there. But not a crazy hard track to drive, and in doing so, it kind of lulls you into a false sense of security. Kind of go in there and kind of get overconfident, put too much power into it, trying to get onto the oval or something, and that's where you'll really see people get squirrely, is coming onto that oval portion of the original Roval. As Denny Diaz going to keep things handily in front of him. Got about a 3-second gap, 4 seconds almost to Terry Calger. Carl Handwerk leading off the GT3As. Mark Dillon leading us GT3Bs. I'm not sure what vehicle that is. It's a Lotus. McLaren. As the big storylines here, folks, Tyler Langenberg up 5 positions in the GT series. Our fastest mover in any series. So much going on here, folks. Luis Riviera Collin up in the wall, trying to get out of the way of Bryce Anderson as Bryce is on a tear to get his position back. We saw that earlier issue where he got taken out by a little bit of net code, possibly in the battle with, I believe that was Sean Atkins. So actually working his way back up to Sean in that Alienware Porsche. We're going to see what happens. So I need somebody in the audience. Tell me what car this is. Is that a McLaren? Not familiar with the emblem. Folks, taking a look back at Mark Thomas. Oh, very unfortunate. Broadcaster's curse. He tried to make the pass on Mark Herzog. Like, just got a little bit of issue. I don't know how that happened, really. Oh, is he just kind of lost track of where he was on the track, went into BMW of Daniel Barnett. That is unfortunate. The size of the BMW, there was no way Mark was going to win that battle of inertia. Very unfortunate for him. Daniel Hingley. Turn 1. Have any cameras over there? There he is. A little bit loose. Yeah, Brad McCombs fan. Currently 16th in the GT3 or the GTE series. I'm sorry. Gareth McAllister series, running a really good race in 5th. Battle. That is. Or that is. Near Poland. So we do have some lap traffic, folks. That's why STK doesn't know what it's wanting to do. We are 20 minutes down, F140. It seems like a good time as any to go to a commercial break. Don't go anywhere. Stay right here for the Pony Express Endurance for Amateurs series. All right, folks, we are back. Appreciate everybody sticking around for the ad break. That, of course, was Red Cat Racing. They do quality RC for quality RCs for hobbyists and, of course, experts. Guys, I own a crawler from Red Cat, not the Marksman. That's the one I want to get, but I own the Red Cat Gen 8. It is a great scale crawler if you want to get into the RC hobby. Red Cat's the way to go, guys. And, of course, you can use our link, as always. Help us out. Check it out. They've got some really good stuff. You're not going to find a better made, better quality on the budget machine than a Red Cat. And I do truly believe that. As we are rocking here still, Dennis Diaz still running this thing. Got about an 8-second gap on Terry Calger. Just has to be clean. Bryce Anderson in 4th. Sean Adkins battling with Bryce. Or you noticed earlier with that little tiff, that has sorted itself out. Bryce has got his spot back. Next we got Marcus Osborne. Marcus dipping his toe into the bulk of the GTE series. He's leading your GT3s currently. Got Keith Roycraft about 2 seconds back. And Aaron Clayball in 3rd, Jeff Riffley in 4th, Nicholas Paletti there in 5th. Saw Mark Thomas had those issues earlier trying to bounce back as he's been sideways a couple times. I don't think it was under his own volition. We are on lap 15, folks. Be a good one. So, talking about those Red Cats, the second ad you saw, the Kaiju, very fun machine. That thing is a basher that will go 65 miles an hour. So, that's absolutely wild. The original Kaiju, I think, was 54 miles an hour. You can go online and see them do that. Just getting absolutely crazy with these things. They've got expensive ones and they've got cheap ones. If you're looking for Christmas gifts, you can look no further than the redcatracing.com/simracingmedia. They can give you they've got machines, one of the best bashers, budget bashers on the market right now is the Volcano, and they just got new ones. So it's a fun one. They're super fun. I wouldn't be spitting this crap at you if I didn't believe it. Literally, both myself and Tony have Red Cat crawlers that are absolutely a blast on the trails. So sure, and go check them out if you're interested. Link in the comments section. As right now, folks, everybody pretty much just hanging out. We got a crash with Brad McCombs. Let's keep an eye on that. See what happened in that System X Lambo. It's a Corvette, man. Looking so good. What did I say earlier, guys? That's the hardest part of the track. Is that bus stop. See if there are any issues coming out. There were not, but at the same time, there's another incident with Gary Schilling. Coming onto the oval, got caught on the apron just a little bit awkwardly. So let's check in on our fan favorites. We've got Go Gary was the first one we got. That is Gary. There's a couple of them in here, but I'm assuming Gary Schilling, who just came out in pit road, one of the first ones in the GT3A to come down pit road. We've got a Terry, a Gary, a Zachary. I think that's actually the only Gary we got, Gary Schilling. We got Matt Odell, Matt Odell fan in the chat. Matt is currently sitting 10th in the 955 Porsche. I want to get massacred in the chat for saying Porsche. Currently got a little bit of a battle going on in front of him. Luis Riviera, Colin, and Doug Buchanan. As you see them brakes just absolutely glowing on the 264 of Doug Buchanan. That is absolutely a testament to how hard these guys are working for you out here to put on a good show. Getting the brakes absolutely cooked. As Luis is going to pass an AMG of William Alcala possibly. Gary McAllister. More cheers for Gary McAllister. I like it. Gareth. He's Gareth in mine. Excuse me, there we go. Gareth was running pretty good. Currently up to 6th in his class of 10 in the Lambo. That is a gorgeous look at that Hurricane. I would be so distracted in that car. I can't even have my the lights on in my van when I'm driving at night. You gotta turn the inside interior lights down, so that would absolutely drive me crazy. But Gareth doing a good job of it, getting that car underneath him, having some good laps. Oh, Jimmy Covert with some issues, hitting the bump as he was pressured by a Aaron Clayball. Just takes it off. I don't know what he was doing there. It's a little bit of issue. Get back on the track. Very unfortunate for Nicholas. As Dennis Diaz catching a little bit of lap traffic, really hurting him here. As Terry Calger, he's not flying, but he's about a second faster. So now he's working on the same lap traffic, but about 5 seconds separates him, as you can see up there. We go look at these guys so we can see where the ET3 A's are. Marcus Osborne, Keith Roycraft, Aaron Clayball, of course, Brad McCombs. In the 23 machine. Past Keith Roycroft in the pits. Currently running 11th in the Corvette. Corvette seemed really dominant in the qualifying practice session. But unfortunately, it seems like the Porsches have it for the majority just based on numbers. Of course, the BMW of Dennis Diaz in a league of his own. Coming down pit road currently, letting Paul Skip get ahead of him in that K&N Corvette. We'll see where Dennis is going to come out. Terry Calger came in with him. Matt Odell. Doug Buchanan currently coming in. As we're seeing the drop-off, not really there. Actually, Dennis Diaz spending 22 seconds in his pit stall. Got to be something mechanical that he was working on there. Possibly a minor adjustment, but I got to think that car was handling as good as it was going to get. As literally the only BMW in the GT3E or the GTE series. The good-looking Beamer. As he's gonna get out. He's gonna be the quickest one off pit road, taking tires and fuel. But Bryce Anderson, Paul Skip, not really seeing a fall off. Bryce Anderson last was 142.66 as opposed to his best of a 142.39. So not too bad out there. We are on lap 20. 34 minutes down, 140 to go. This is the Endurance for Amateurs, brought to you by Pony Express. These guys are working for you. Gonna take a look at Matt Odell in the Porsche, going on board on the roll bar there. He's working on Thaddeus Marshall, I believe. So was anybody able to tell me what vehicle this was? McLaren? Too lazy to do the research. Like a Nike swoosh red curve. Its emblem. You guys let me know. That's going to be a trivia question. If you answer correctly, I will give you kudos. Roger Shank has been working his way through the GT3B cars. He's currently in second with Mark Dillon in first of the GT3B cars. And if you just put the GT3s together all in a row, Mark Dillon would be third, catching up to Jeff Ripley and Kevin Roycroft. Only about 4 seconds back from them. So Mark Dillon possibly about to get the advantage on Jeff Ripley and Keith Roycraft in the B car, catching the A cars, as well as Roger Shank. So that's very interesting. Roger Shank currently between 5th and 6th of the B cars. As the difference, guys, of course, the GTE cars are just built for endurance racing. Very stout race cars, much faster, set up for this kind of thing, etc. The GT3 cars are purpose-built race cars, but they're built from chassis of real cars, street cars, usually luxury sports cars, as they are much faster and built for this thing. Just with a couple modifications. They, of course, the roll cage, different interior, and they throw some upgraded racing components on those things. Now, what this league does, this league has the A class and the B class and the GT3s. The A's are low downforce, less ABS. They're harder to drive. They're more for those guys with more time to practice. The GT3Bs are high downforce, meant for the guys to just come in and have a good time. The GTBs also have 100% fuel, so they're a little bit heavier, and 5% power reduction. So a little bit of a disadvantage as Mark Dillon is finding out, as he is getting right in the mix with Marcus Osborne and Aaron Claybaugh, as the reason he is up there is because he had not pitted yet, and these GTA cars pitted, but still up there nonetheless. Oh, is he's gonna get? Ooh, that was close, folks. We're testing out the brakes in Dillon's number 3 car as Marcus Osborne gets a little out of shape. Let's see what happened here. As Mark Dillon just has to throw on the brakes. That was absolutely insane. Look at the brake. That's not brake lights, that's exhaust. Look at the flames coming out of that Corvette. That is absolutely insane. Back on board with Marcus. Of course, Brad McCombs, another one that has been shouted out in the chat. And guys, let us know who your route for. We love to follow them for you. As Mark Thomas working on the GTB car, GT3B of Roger Shank. Mark trying to overcome some adversity, falling back a couple times, able to make his way back up there. Mark Dillon getting caught by Nicholas Paletti. We saw in that caution, or in that incident. Just look at the flames coming out of that Corvette. That is absolutely insane. Might be running a little lean. It's not a Corvette. It's a McLaren or something. It's got to be McLaren. That is not. I wonder if the other McLaren or whatever it is does the same thing. It does. That's awesome. That's absolutely fantastic. Need to tune that thing. Alright, chat, since I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to see. So guys, just a little bit of insight to kind of what we're looking for. An issue with Nick Terrell. GTE car not doing too hot. He just over brakes it in the Corvette. That's called snap oversteer, folks. No it's not. He just lost control. A little battle going on here. This is an interdisciplinary battle. See a Porsche and a couple Corvettes. So just an idea here, folks. I do want to bring this up. I've been doing some research. I know y'all just love to hear my voice. So we're going to talk about this. Paul Skip has been absolutely flying. It's a BMW, Porsche, and Corvette top three. Of course, these are the C8s, the absolutely gorgeous mid-engine Corvette. Brand new. They came out. I think it was just last year. Possibly the year before. I'm not sure, but they really became mainstream last year. So basically the GTE, guys. This is what Paul Skip's driving in. This GTE Corvette. It allows for more modifications in comparison to the road car than the GT3. So the GT3 requires the more stock parts than the GTE. So the GTE only uses the chassis, engine block, and cylinder heads from the road car. So minor changes there. Both categories do use traction control, but the GT3 also has ABS. So, a lot of fun stuff. So other things that you can adjust the GTE cars, as in like open gear ratios, whereas the GT3, the only thing you can change is the ride height, damper settings, and the rear angle and tire pressures. So you can really work on that GTE a little bit more. It's good for those experts. So another thing I'm finding, guys, if I say something completely wrong, I'm hoping on you guys to help me out. But there's also the balance of performance. These GT3 cars that we see, like Jeff Ripley, who's currently running first in the GT3A cars. These GT3 cars are a lot more balanced than their real-life counterparts of the GTE. The GTE cars are pretty much an anything goes. Just send them out there and run. Of course, iRacing does like to homogenize some of these. I'd never like to stay too far away from Mark Thomas. He's currently up to 4th. He's been at the very back of this A class. Now he's crawling his way back up in that gorgeous Porsche. Ah! Guys, I've done the research. Mark Dillon, who is currently in 4th, if he was a GT3A car, but he is not. He is a B car. Is currently in 1st in that flame job McLaren. Be absolutely insane. Fuel mixture that they've got going on there. As Daniel Hingley goes off track, let's see what happens there. Trying to get that thing rolling. Fortunate for him. As Doug Buchanan working all out on his own. Dennis Diaz, we talked earlier, he came down pit road, first one to pit. Short pit strategy worked for him. Terry Calger down 8 seconds right now. Paul Skip 8 seconds behind him, so quite the lead for Dennis Diaz. We talked to him before the race as he did qualify pole position. He said, you know what, I'm going to try not to give it up. And so far, Dennis Diaz has led every single lap that he has been out on the racetrack. Other than the one time, I believe, when David Lemon and Tyler Landenberg stayed out. But so that's from 19 to lap 21. Other than those 2 laps, Dennis Diaz has led every single one of them. It's a different story over here in the GT3A class. Jeff Ripley up 5 positions. Aaron Clayball up 8. Like this track, giving a lot of people a lot of trouble. In endurance racing, it's really just about how consistent can you be. And we're seeing that right now. As Jeff Ripley, not one of the ones with the best times, but one of the ones nonetheless that is absolutely hanging in there. As Aaron Claybaugh has the Porsche of, I believe that's another class. I'm not sure who that is though. Is that Nicholas Paletti? So there's a battle. Nicholas Paletti trying to catch Aaron Clayball. We'll see if he can do it. We are at... There he goes. Nicholas Paletti going to make his way around. Aaron Clayball not really putting up too much of a fight there. We talked about it. Consistency. Get back to working your lap times. If somebody's faster than you, you don't want to spend too much time battling with them. That's not the way that endurance racing works. You're on board with Roger Shank, currently first in the B Series. In the Lamborghini. That's because Mark Dillon decided to come down pit road. Doing a check-in of our fan favorites. Of course, we got Gareth McAllister currently running third in the GT3B series at Lamborghini. That green and black looking gorgeous. We have Brad McCombs is another one. Brad, I believe he's having a really good race. Currently in 9th in the GTE series in the Corvette, as he's been able to stay pretty consistent here through the course, which is a lot because, folks, if you pay attention, there are 18 cars in this GTE series. The more than any other series that they've got here in this I think it ended up being a 24 plus 18, 36 car field. So, a lot of folks here. And Brad has been able to keep it in the top 10 overall. Good job by Brad. Matt Odell is another one that we've been told to follow. He's currently in 6th place. It's for Molly Faith. In that 955 Porsche. Currently up 7 positions in that Porsche. A little interdisciplinary battle. Terry Calger still trying to catch Dennis Diaz. Here we go. This is a battle for position. Two different Porsches, a GT3A and a GT3B. We're on board with, we're watching the green Alienware of Sean Atkins battling Aaron Claybaugh. It's like Sean's going to take the lead. He's in a GTE car. This GTE car is back there having to do some work after coming down pit road a little bit early. And keep an eye on that. Now he's not Nicholas Paletti in front of him. We're going to go on the roll bar. I want to show you kind of the difference here. This is the same card Sean Atkins has and Nicholas Paletti, but you'll notice just a slightly different setup. A little bit more custom interior, a little bit more work done inside there. This is your GTE. This is your GT3. So Sean Atkins going to make that pass and get rolling here on to Bryce Anderson, who has had some heartbreak. We saw Bryce really high in the standings a couple different times, but unable to make anything happen as Terry Calger goes off track. Terry Calger Something happened there with himself and Derek Sherman. Oh, Derek Sherman comes down, gets into Calgar. That's very unfortunate. That's going to hurt Terry Calgar's chances, as there's not much he can do here. That's why this racing is so exciting. And kind of why, guys, they throw all these cars out on the same track at the same time. Otherwise, these guys would be, you know, an endurance race with all the same cars going. You wouldn't get as much passing as you would want. You'd get all strung out. But that's why we like having these other guys in there, because that stuff does happen. As Marcus Osborne trying to make the pass on Roger Shank. Oh, he's going to get pinched. Going to come down in front of Roger Shank. Now he's going to get by Williams Alcala. This is the GTA car of Marcus Osborne trying to work through a couple B cars, as Mark Dillon is the next one he's got to watch. Aaron Clayball. He's got Nicholas Paletti behind him. This is an intra-disciplinary battle. Nicholas Paletti, Aaron Clayball. Both GTA cars. This is the battle for second, but it's about to be the battle for first, as Jeff Ripley just came down pit road. As there's another car involved. That's going to be, believe... Not sure who that is. Mystery Man there up top in the black Chevrolet. Oh, Jimmy Covert having some issues. What's going on with him? Oh, just cooked the brakes. Unable to get that thing stopped in time. If the brakes start getting overheated, folks, you're going to get brake fade. What's going to happen is going to heat up all that. Heat up your pads, heat up all the fluid in your brakes. You're going to have a little bit of aspiration. Jimmy finding that out. Put the pedal down, didn't do anything. There was no friction in that brake pedal. This battle's still going on. Aaron Clayball and Nicholas Paletti fighting for now what is first place in the GT3A class. Two Porsches. Aaron Clayball, we'll see how long he can hold him off, as we've got about 39 minutes to go, folks. As I know you're glued to the television as much as I am. Aaron Clayball and Nicholas Paletti. We're going to go to a quick ad break, folks. Stick around, support us. We appreciate it. All right, folks, we were watching the battle. William Alcala and Roger Shank. They've been fighting for a minute, folks. As the Aaron Clayball, Nicholas Paletti battle has kind of broken up because Mark Thomas came through there and is back up to second. So we've seen him on a tear. He won last week. Now trying to make his way back up to the beginning, back up to the front, in front of Clayball. As just not to confuse anyone, we're going to go up here, show you that Dennis Diaz is still your leader. Terry Cowger Jr. still in second. Paul Skip, third. David B. Lemon, fourth. And Tyler Landenberg, fifth. So, folks, let's talk points for a little bit. Nothing else. Let you know what we got here. So, in the GTE series, the points currently as they stand after Snetterton is going to be Dennis Diaz with 123 points. Terry Cowger is in second, 110 points. We got Tyler Landenberg in third with 94 points. Currently sitting fifth place, up 7 positions. Then Nick Terrell. I don't see... There he is in 13th, but he's in 4th position in the points. David Lemon. We have a new leader, Paul Skip, going to take a couple laps as the leader as Dennis Diaz comes down pit road for his second and final stop. So in your standings, then we got Jimmy Covert, Brad McCombs, Timothy Bramlett, Matt Odell, Tony Watson, Kevin Dahlia, and Sean Atkins. Your next, I believe that's your top 10. In the GT3A series, Mark Thomas, who's currently there in third, coming down pit row. We got Carl Handwork is first in the GT3As. Paul Boyle, Nicholas Paletti is third. Marcus Osborne, Keith Roycraft. Aaron Clayball, Mark Thomas, Lynn Kopp, Tyler Vickery, Daniel Barnett, and Mark Hartzog. The GT3B, Zachary Nurnberger, Zach Purcell, Roger Sink, William Alcala, Mark Dillon Jr., Dennis Crosby, Dave Farah, Atticus Middleton, Doug Betts, Thaddeus Marshall. On board with Mark Dillon, currently 5th in the GT3 points. Of course, you can find all those on the Pony Express website, which is Sergeant Dillon Jr., which is SGTEI LLONJR.WIXSITE.com. Check that out. Also got a couple other leagues if you are interested. Pony Express. Open wheel for amateurs. The F3 cars, 30-minute heats, fixed setups, 10 races, and 2 drop weeks. They're going to be racing, they race every Monday at 7:40 Eastern. Going to Detroit on the 1st. And then they've got the Lucas Oil Pro 4s. Pro 4s for amateurs. 10 races, 2 drop weeks. They are Monday nights at 9:25 Eastern. They're going to be at New Hampshire road course with oval next Monday night. And then they got the NASCAR for amateurs. It's going to be my type of show. Friday nights at 7 p.m. Central. 7 races, 1 drop week. Comes with a 2-foot trophy. That's pretty dope. NASCAR trucks. That next one's going to be October 29th at Charlotte. 100 laps. So if you're interested, get in there and race with these folks. That is a... it's like a super fun time. As we've been watching the old flamethrower Mark Dillon absolutely blazing through as a GT3B car. Aaron Clayball leading the first. Dennis Diaz has taken his spot back there in first position. Closest battle for position right now, and this is a inter-class battle, so it doesn't really matter for much. Paul Boyle trying to pass William Alcala. William in the B's, Paul in the A's. He's going to make short work of him and get going. This is just long enough of a track, folks, that's what these endurance cars want. They want these long 3.5 mile tracks so they don't have to worry too much about lap traffic. And that's another thing about Daytona, folks. With these big, long stretches of the oval portion, what you also get is you get a really convenient place to pass through some slower cars. As we got Matt Odell and Tony Watson in a position battle here. They've got the red Porsche of, is that Jeff Ripley? Not sure who that was, but Matt Odell really making his way through here. Tony Watson's not too far behind. He's looking to make something happen. Tyler Landenberg has Brad McCombs drafting off of him. We'll see if he's going to have enough time to get up there. 25 laps to go left in this thing, folks. Remember, shout us out in the YouTube chat. We'd love to hear from you. I know we got a couple cheers for some people. We got Triple R says, let's go. Gary McAllister. Go, Gary McAllister. A lot of Gary McAllister fans. Hey, we'd love to see it. It's Gareth on my screen, but if he goes by Gary, and more power to him there. It's Paul Boyle catching our leader of the Bees. That is the lap car of Jeff Ripley that Matt Odell just passed there. Jeff is actually leading the GT3A cars. Go Denny's, Atticus Middleton. Go Atticus Middleton. Good race, sir. This Dennis is, man, he's absolutely flying. Nobody can touch him. Mark Dillon getting attacked by Paul Boyle. Paul's going to end up make it easily around the side. That speed disparity really showing here. So this is what I was going to say earlier, folks. Because this is such a long, open stretch for these cars that usually you're not going to have a mile and a half straight in most of your endurance courses. So that really helps out these guys, because what it does is it gives all the faster cars, the GTEs, as we're going to see right here, really gives them an opportunity to fly past the slower cars in an area that's not really dangerous. You can't really mess that up, as I'm actually sure you can, but it's harder to mess that up. Paul Skip's able to make it past the slower car. So something to keep an eye out for as we go to these harder courses. We saw it last week. A little bit harder to control, a lot less cars, however. So something to think about when you go to these Daytona races. That's something that these cars might be praying for, pretty excited about, is the ability to pass those other classes on that. We're watching Paul Skip and Brad McCombs, two Corvettes going at it. K&N of Paul Skip and the 23 of Brad McCombs. Oh, Carl Handelwork has some issues. Carl in the red BMW just throwing it in there, getting sideways. We saw that. We've seen that a couple times on that turn. Those front brakes getting cooked. You have to, once they get cooked off, puts all that braking power to the rear and slides you around. As we're going to see Brad McCombs working on the Pony Express. The orange Pony Express car, I believe that's... Sure. Find out for you shortly. Is Brad Skip also working past Marcus Osborne there? Is Brad McCombs letting Paul go by? I'm hearing that he does have he's going to be pitting this time around. Deborah, thank you, Esports Broadcasting. Great announcers, great job. Thank you. You know what, Deborah? I really appreciate that. I'm just filling in for you guys. Usually Angel does this, and usually this is not a one-man show, so I'm very sorry that I'm not more entertaining. I'm trying to find them as they come up. But Deborah, I really appreciate that. That makes me feel good on this Wednesday night to get that appreciation, Deborah. I appreciate you guys watching at home. This is all for you. Like I said, Brad does enjoy getting out here iRacing. We all do. So Deborah, you take it easy and sure to check with us in tomorrow. So if you're not watching live, if you're just watching the replay, we appreciate you too. Be sure and like this video and subscribe. Turn your notifications if you're on. I'm not going to tell you to. I usually don't, but if you are interested in seeing some racing, we got this thing going 7 days a week, folks. That's what pushes Esports Broadcasting Network and the parent company of SRM over the top, as we got races every single night, multiple races. As today we also had the Sim Racers Edge series. Of course, tomorrow we got the DOB. Some dirt track action. You can catch myself and Tony Trapassi in some dirt track action tomorrow with sprint cars and big blocks. And then Friday we have the Circle B Diecast Series, as well as a couple others. I'm sure I'm forgetting to mention. We got a ton of races, folks. But if you are interested in getting your races broadcast, you can always holler at us. We love to do it for you. I do want to wish Angel a great vacation, taking a much needed vacation. That's why I'm working this Pony Express Endurance for Amateurs race, as we still got to battle Paul Skip and Brad McCombs. Brad last pitted or Paul just pitted. Pat has not yet. So Paul trying to run through the field, as it seems like everybody in front of Brad McCombs has pitted, but now Brad trying to work on it. Mark Thomas passing, battling with Aaron Claybaugh. Not even close. Paul Boyle working on Daniel Barnett in the GT3A class. Paul down 5 positions, Daniel up 8. So actually getting a really good move there. Paul goes off track a little bit. Paul having a little bit of trouble in that Porsche with the BMW. Was too much to handle, as looks like he has some damage on that front right wheel. Not sure. Either way, he's going to make the pass on Daniel Barnett. So here we go, Tony Watson and Matt Odell. We had a shout out for Matt earlier from Molly Faith. Matt's working his way up. He's in 7th position. Working on Tony Watson. But he's got Doug Buchanan behind him. This battle is something to watch, folks. It's that gorgeous cut of those headlights doing their work. We're going to go through one more ad break here. I'm going to go get me some water. You guys hang out. As we're going to take a look at, again, we're going to look at the Red Cat Marksman, because I just love that thing. This is a scale brawler. Of course, you can look at that link. It is in our description. Please use that link. You want to check out all the good stuff they've got over at Red Cat. You know, they're called budget RCs, but they're really some of the best quality you're going to find around. You know, I've got an Armacentin machine from a competitor of Red Cat's that I have had to work on more than I'd like to say. Whereas any of my Red Cats, I don't think I've touched them. Anything other than a couple customization pieces or some steering linkages. What Red Cat does is they are able to do this affordably and also use parts that are interchangeable. So you don't have to search for that brand new part that you got to find from one manufacturer that has, you know, 4 weeks of shipping. Now these parts are made, they'll all work together to do that. So you're not going to miss a thing. We're going to go side by side. Just hang out and stick with me. All right, we are back. Of course, that was the Red Cat Marksman. So 1/8 scale crawler. That's what got me into the hobby. So yeah, Atticus, I have a 3S. It's a the DLX 3S, and I really liked it until it started breaking on me. I've lost tires. My motor burnt out. I had to work with Arrma to get me a new motor, which they were very good about it. But still, it was a pain, and then that gearing went out on that. So that's why I really like the Red Cats, is I don't have the time to devote to the Arrma and taking care of it, replacing all the parts when I break stuff. The Red Cat, I literally had to change one part on. That's because I kept letting my daughter drive it. She ran it into a brick wall, and it was changed in 2 seconds. So, like my Red Cat, like them all. And they've got the Kaiju, which is a basher that's really good. Of course, if you're looking for gifts for the kiddos that aren't going to break the bank, you can follow that link and look up the Red Cat Volcano. Cheap, run you about 80 bucks. You'll have a ton of fun with it. Or if you're like me and Atticus and you want to spend $600 down on a PLX, you can do that too. Yeah, I get it out. I like, but don't get me wrong, I really like my Arrma, because the only reason I got the Arrma though is because Red Cat didn't have a short course truck, which they do now, but we're not gonna plug it because I'm just talking with you. But mine was a motor issue. Those motors that they put out with the 3S are notoriously bad, and they know it. So back to the race. Matt Odell and Brad McCombs, two of our fan favorites here, going head to head for 8th position in the GTE cars. Ah, I got this sent to the 4x4. You are correct, Atticus. I got the Arrma Sinton, which is a 3S BLX platform, but it's the 4S. 3S. And it's quick. It's a ton of fun. But it breaks. Oh, does it break? All the time. Now Nick Terrell making his way past Mark Dillon Jr. Mark, you're first in the B series. Gareth McAllister, another fan favorite, currently sitting 4th in the B series. There we go. Brad McCombs trying to make a move on the outside on Matt Odell. He's got it for now, but they're going to be coming into turn 1 hot and heavy. Advantage is going to be to... oh, man. Yep, that's it. Matt Odell is just going to let Brad go off the deep end. Slowed down enough, put the pressure on. That'll do it, as Matt Odell now has a half-second lead. That was your closest battle of the entire race that I'm watching, folks. As currently Mark Thomas sitting in pit road. In 4th, Derek Sherman has had an accident. Let's see what happened here. New Old Stock Racing No, thankfully to everyone involved in this broadcast, Angel will be back next week. He's just taking some much-needed vacation time, so I'm hanging out here for him. He'll be back in next week for your race over at Le Mans in the morning. So that's going to be November 3rd, same time, same place. Angel, God willing, will be back. Brad McComb still trying to rope in Matt Odell. Up front, you're not missing much. Dennis Diaz got a 7-second gap on Terry Calger, and David B. Lemon, who I think led 57 of 57 laps last week after Dennis Diaz and I believe it may have been Terry, got into it in turn 2, lap 2. Oh, Connor Daly having some issues. The other flamethrower there. Going down turn 1, we've seen it so many times. Just hard on the brakes, and then right when you let off the brakes, that's when you get that hard, I think that's lift-off oversteer. Pushes all that weight on the front tires, and your traction pushes you hard into whatever direction you're turning. These tires only want to do one thing at a time. They're not good at multitasking, so if you're slowing down, that's why all the racers want you to be in a straight line, as I guarantee that's exactly what happened to Jimmy Covert as well. Braking, lets off the brakes. Bam, lift off oversteer. Once you let off those brakes, all that momentum goes backwards. Gives those tires the traction they need, and they'll go whichever way you're pointing them. As Brad McCombs has found Matt Odell. Let's see what happens. So our patented James Riles bar cam here. We're going to see these two Porsches battle it out. This is Brad McCombs and Matt Odell. With a tag along. It's not involved in this race. It's a GT3 car. Hard braking by McCombs, trying to catch Odell. Here we go. We're going to see if he's going to make the move. Going to make it on the outside. A little bit of side drafting there as he's going to be in the high position. This is exactly the mistake he made last time. Overcooked this turn. See if he does it again. He does not, but he's not clear. As he is getting flat. Oh, no! Brad McCombs. I'm sorry, Matt Odell. Getting spooked. As to who is battling with That's Terry Calger, who's a lap ahead of Brad McCombs. I want to see that one more time. That's Matt Odell's issue. Just very interesting. I'm not sure what happened there. He just barely missed right in front of second place Terry Calger. After the amazing pass by Brad McCombs. As again, folks, that was your closest battle on the field. So we're going to go back through some of the leaders. Of course, Dennis Diaz. Oh, we've only got 2 minutes to go. Time has flied. Dennis Diaz in first place. Terry Calger, second place. David B. Lemon, third. Paul Skip, fourth. Tyler Landenberger, top 5 in the GTE. In the GT3As, Aaron Clayball, Jeff Ripley, Nicholas Paletti, about 4 seconds back. Mark Thomas in fourth. And Paul Boyle in fifth. In the GT3Bs, we got Mark Dillon in first. Roger Shank in second. William Alcala third. Gareth McAllister fourth. And Thaddeus Marshall running fifth. We've only got one more lap here. Terry Calger about 8.5 seconds back from Dennis Diaz. I don't think he has anything for him. As you see, he's on the back stretch. He's only got a minute to get to the front here to get another lap. But you got to think he's going to do everything he can to get up there. There you go, folks. Dennis Diaz, barring something very unfortunate, he's got about one more lap left. I think once the time is out, they're going to finish the lap up. Terry Calger, Dennis Diaz. There we go. Aaron Claybaugh coming up there. So the white flag is out, folks. We're at our 1:40 mark, 1 hour and 40 minutes. Just got to hang out here. Aaron Claybaugh has a 30-second lead over his counterpart in the GT3s. Mark Dillon with a 5-second lead. William Alcala can possibly catch Roger Shank here, as we'll be keeping an eye on that. Is everybody on the same pit strategy? Nothing crazy going on there. There we go. William Alcala trying to catch Roger Shank as the checkered flag is out. Dennis Diaz coming across the line, but this battle is going to continue. William Alcala and Roger Shank, they've got to keep going as this is your closest battle. Because Dennis Diaz got the checkered flag behind them, these guys still having to race it out. Guys, this is your battle for the top 3. William Alcala trying to get to Roger Shank coming into the bus stop. The race is over for a lot of folks, but not these guys. Let's see if he gets there. Roger Shank and William Alcala. William trying to get to the outside. It's going to be a drag race. He's going to come down to side draft, working on his oval counterpart. Let's see if he makes it to the line. It's going to be a shot to the finish. William Alcala with the advantage, just barely 0.05 seconds, folks. William Alcala getting second well after the race is over. Dennis Diaz already doing his donuts as William Alcala and Roger Shanks are working there. What a finish there. So, guys, we're going to get some of these, as many folks in here as we can to talk to you a little bit about this. Give him some time. So, wow, what a fantastic win by Dennis Diaz. Absolutely dominating performance. It's going to be Dennis Diaz, Terry Calgar, David Lemon. As we've got William Alcala in the booth, that's what I want to talk about. But, well, let's go ahead and pull him in. William Alcala, what an absolute battle you were in to get second place. As William, if you're there, I can't hear you at all.
Can you hear me now?
There we go. I got you. I got you. So, what an absolute battle you were in with Roger Shank there out of nowhere.
Oh man, it was something else. It's probably the best road race I've ever had in a really long time. Just made a few mistakes, man, and I would have had that win. Seeing how Mark was nursing that car home. I'm assuming due to fuel. I know I had about 0.3 laps left of fuel when crossing the line. So, oh man, it was dang, what a good race though. That was just a blast. Battled my way through the mid pack early on, and caught a break with Mark missing his pit stall and having to go all the way around. So was able to close in the gap and was able to beat Roger out of pits, but he's a scrappy one, I'll tell you that. So that was a lot of fun battling him, but kudos to him. He kept it clean all the way around. I was trying to give him as much space and respect as I possibly could, but still keep the pressure on. What a comeback from that spin though. I'm just, oh man, I'm speechless right now. I just took off my VR headset and I'm just sweating. Just got really hot underneath there, but man,
you got the sweaty eyeballs.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, what a race, man.
Yeah, as we're watching kind of what this battle was going on, Roger Shank in the Lambo in front of you, and then Dennis Diaz behind you. What were you? Did you see him on your relative? Were you worried you guys weren't going to get another lap to race this thing out?
Oh, I was absolutely terrified. I was like, I saw that. I don't know how much time Dennis was behind me during the white flag. During the one to go. So I was like, man, if I just got to push and just keep them behind me. And I'm glad I was able just to run just a little bit faster those couple of laps, and because that would have been such a bummer if he would have passed me and not him, because second place would have definitely gone out the window. But I was scared. I was definitely looking at the relative, looking at my rear view mirror, and looking at my and looking at my fuel. I was looking at 3 different things and hoping that everything worked out, and eventually it did. So I'm really happy about that.
Definitely. Well, who do you want to shout out? Who do you want to thank that helped you get to this second place in the GT3 B class?
Want to shout out, you guys at ESPN for covering this race. Hopefully that the whole field was able to put on a good show, not only for you up in the booth, but also the audience watching this live and watching this on replay. Shout out to Pony Express Sim Racing for having this. It's produced great racing. I absolutely love it. Great group of guys. Really, just really great group of guys that really respect each other. And got a shout out to my wife who lets me do this and pursue this as a hobby. And gotta love it. So after this, be carving up some pumpkins and making some homemade pumpkin pie. So that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Definitely is a man. I'm jealous. We haven't carved ours yet, but we'll get there. Well, William, I appreciate you coming in with us tonight, and congratulations on the second place. Hard fought battle there.
Thank you.
GT3B series.
Thank you.
All right, that was William Alcala. Next, we got in Mark Dillon in the flamethrower. Congratulations on the dub.
And I appreciate it. It didn't come easy.
Yeah, it's all you had it stretched out there for a while. Tell us what happened. What got the field a little bit closer to you?
I had built up a 20-second gap over Roger before pit stops. And I'm not used to having so many cars in our races. So I came down pit road and didn't realize my pit stall was right there after the cones. And so I missed it, and so I had to come back around and pit again. So that second pit stop put me back in like third place, I think. But then once everybody else pitted, I think I was only 4 seconds ahead of Roger, and then I didn't take tires. I don't know if anybody else did. But William Alcala, he was just gaining on me that whole second half of the race. I think I might have had a little bit of damage. I did some rally crossing. I don't know if you saw that, but I basically cut the whole infield sideways, backwards. I don't know how I didn't hit the wall.
Yeah, it definitely is. It took me about, I'm not going to lie, it took me about an hour to find out what car that actually was. So that's a McLaren, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, then it was after you were battling with, I think it was one of the GT3A cars into turn one. You watched a battle between a couple Corvettes. One of them dumped in front of you. That I caught the flamethrower action. So that's a pretty slick ride, man. It's a pretty slick paint job. Who you want to thank going into this thing?
Yeah, definitely want to thank all my admins, all my teammates. Sean Adkins, VP here. He actually did that paint scheme for me for this season since we brought the McLaren to the league. Yeah, just thanks for everybody that comes out and does the races, and obviously thanks to ESPN for being with us and doing these broadcasts.
Definitely. Well, Mark, hopefully we'll see you again next week. Absolutely throwing down in the GT3B class, and good luck, and we'll see you at Le Mans.
Definitely. Thanks, man.
That was Mark Dillon. Next, we're going to bring in Patrick Ripley, which, Patrick, tell me about the second place finish.
Well, had a pretty poor qualifying to start the race, but, at the start, made up a little ground, stayed with the leaders, and they made some mistakes. Unfortunately, got caught up in a little melee and had some toe damage early in the race, which forced me to pit. And from there, it was trying to manage fuel, and I just couldn't make it to the end and had to pit early.
Yeah, so a 3-stop race there, and still able to get past. So tell us about this track and the oversteer that y'all were facing. We saw a lot of people with lift-off oversteer issues.
I actually spent most of my race lifting early to save some fuel, so I don't know if I can really speak to that, but the setup was pretty good. I found it was relatively well balanced. getting into corner one's tricky for everybody. Getting out of corner one's tricky for everybody. So I think you had to really get through there, and you were going to have a good race.
Definitely. Well, congratulations on the P2 finish there.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Who you want to shout out and who's on the car?
I just want to shout out the guys for running this league. It's been really great. Some of the guys that got me into it, Ryan Tyler, who couldn't make it this weekend, but yeah, I mean, it's a great league. Hopefully more to come.
Definitely. Well, again, man, congratulations, and hopefully we'll talk to you next week at Le Mans.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a good one.
You as well. Next, we're going to bring up Aaron Claybaugh, who our winner in the GT3A series in the number 56 Porsche. How's it going, Aaron?
Pretty good, James. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. So, again, congratulations on the first place finish. You had it by about a mile, literally. Tell us about the car and how was it handling?
Yeah, it's great to finally get that win off the back. We've been close all season. My teammate and I, Nicholas Paletti, Doge Squad Racing, we've been working really hard. Really, honestly, though, Patrick, if he wouldn't have gotten that incident at the beginning, I know that he got some damage from that and had to short pit. He definitely had the pace, but towards the end there, he was saving fuel and I was catching him, and then I think it was like with 2 or 3 to go, he had to make a quick splash and go, which gave me the lead, so that was great.
Yeah, well, that's endurance racing, isn't it? You gotta stay clean.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, consistency is key and keeping it on the track.
Definitely. Well, you kept it on the track for 56 total laps. Tell us about the gauntlet and working through such a disparity of drivers.
Yeah, it's interesting having, 3 classes on the track with very different speeds. You don't notice it so much in the, the slower turns, but when you're going from a fast straightaway into like a tight left-hander on the backstretch with the bus stop, it becomes really evident and kind of scary a little bit. But yeah, we got through it pretty clean. There was like maybe one little scary incident in turn 1, but for the most part, yeah, it was a pretty clean race.
Yes, it was, and you were the victor. Again, congratulations. Tell you who you got on that Porsche and who you want to shout out tonight.
Yeah, so I want to shout out the league. I really appreciate them putting this on every week. I want to thank the broadcast team and you, James. Appreciate it. And I want to thank my teammate, Nicholas Paletti. He was really helpful this week again with getting me up to pace in our Doge Squad Porsche.
There you go, man. Well, again, congratulations, and hopefully we'll talk to you next week at Le Mans.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, James.
You are very welcome, Aaron. All right, next we're going to bring up Terry Calger Jr. Terry, heartbreak a couple different times. Tell us about it and what you were seeing at that Porsche.
Well, it all started when I messed up qualifying. That hurt. So I had dig myself out of a little bit of a hole right to begin with. But yeah, I could get Dennis back down to within 6.5 seconds, and then something would happen, or I'd catch lap traffic wrong and lose all of it.
Yeah, and you were in that first group. You lapped everybody up to 8th place, I believe, was what it was. Tell us about that lap traffic and how important it was to catch them on the oval portion and try to avoid them in the infield there.
It's very important. I mean, going through the infield isn't so bad. It's more of coming up to the bus stop, catching them wrong in the bus stop. Because the horseshoes, you can pretty much get around them or get a run through the little straightaways and outbrake. Not do a dive bomb, but just do a little outbraking and get it, stay close or get to the inside of one, coming back onto the NASCAR turn 1 and go from there.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Terry, I know coming off of last week, a 2nd place finish is still a fantastic points finish, so congratulations on it. Are you looking forward to Le Mans next week?
I am. Be my 2nd time racing there, so I'm anxious to get back and see how much I've improved from the last time.
Definitely. Well, one last time, man. Congratulations. Tell me who you got on the car. Who you want to shout out?
Just everybody that has anything to do with the league, Mark, Zach, Sean, all the guys, you guys that do the broadcast, Dennis for keeping me on my toes. He helps me a lot. Still trying to catch him a little bit, but that'll come. And then anybody that I know, friends, family that I got watching later today or tomorrow.
Definitely. Well, all right, man. Well, hopefully we'll talk to you next week at Le Mans and get you in the booth again.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Next, we got our race winner, Dennis Diaz. First of all, Dennis, you took a shot after the checkered flag. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. The car's fine, I hope.
Yeah, you might be totaled there, but so yeah, congratulations on the win. I believe you won pretty much every
I think
lap.
it's
That
five
you were there in.
races of the season so far out of the 7.
Yeah, so absolutely monstrous lap led. So tell us about the race. Was it in jeopardy ever?
Yes. So I wasn't expecting the car to burn as much fuel. So during the second stint, I had to save a lot of fuel. So that's why you saw me dipping into the 143s. And then I had to watch the relative to make sure Terry didn't catch up in time. So once he got within 6 seconds, I would try to push it to gain a gap again and then fuel save. So it was in jeopardy based off of the fuel. So if I didn't fuel save for the whole second stint and like the first half of the third, I wouldn't have made it. I made it to the finish line with like a lap and a half worth of fuel.
Wow, that was something we were not aware of. Is the lap time's pretty consistent throughout? Were tires even a factor in that BMW?
No. In Daytona, you don't really burn tires, especially since it's nighttime. You don't have to really worry about them. They last pretty long. The only thing was worried was really the fuel.
Definitely. Well, we saw you there at the end coming up on William Alcala and Roger Shanks' battle. Were you tempted at all to get up there and finish the race early for him?
No. I was just focused on getting the race done for me. I didn't want to drive anymore.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't have the fuel to do it anyway, so. And I think William came back and thanked me for not overtaking him, so he can continue his battle. So I guess it did a good deed for him.
Yeah, there you go. You can take that one to the bank and get you a popsicle for it. But Dennis, just an absolute clinic, man. I'm glad to see it after last week. I talked to you pre-race and you said I'm going to take the lead and keep it, and that you did, man. Congratulations on the win. Who you got? Who you want to thank?
Friends, family watching. So my homies, Sebastian, Josh, Ruth, Fernando. Thank you, I guess, for being friends and being very supportive of everything I've done. To my family as well, and to everyone in the league, Mark and Zach and all the admins for making it possible, and you for broadcasting it as usual. And hopefully, the next couple races coming up will be good ones, and I can seal the third championship in a row, and we'll see what happens after that.
Yeah, as we're in Le Mans next week. If you can tell me just before you get going, real quick, why does no one else drive a Beamer?
So, apparently the Beamers, I don't know really. It used to be where the Beamer was popular season 1, and then as time went on, I think they nerfed it. So I became the sole BMW driver since I've ran it since season 1, and I haven't left it.
Somebody ought to tell you that they nerfed it, huh?
Well, they did.
They gotta tell that 420.
Yeah. So they nerfed it, but I kept with it because it's the car I'm best at. So, well, actually the Corvette's actually faster and I have it, but I just prefer the BMW. It's been my it's the one I got my first win in, and it's the one that I'm gonna keep getting wins in. So, might as well stay with it.
Definitely. Well, again, congratulations and good luck at Le Mans. Hopefully, we'll talk to you next week.
Hopefully, you'll talk to me in first place again.
Hopefully, right? We'll see you, Dennis.
I have a redemption from season 1, so.
I think you're already past redemption, man. You're killing it. I think
I need my win back from season 1. I don't think you were there to see what happened.
I think if you count drop weeks, Dennis, you're gonna win every race you have.
All right, let's go.
Let's go. All right, later, Dennis.
See ya.
That was Dennis Diaz, your race winner. As we do got word, guys, that the driver of the night is going to be Aaron Clayball, his first win of the season after starting P10. So congratulations, Aaron Clayball. We're going to run through your grid real quick. Then we're going to let you guys get out of here. We're going to go over your overall. Of course, we got Dennis Diaz, Terry Calger Jr., David B. Lemon, Paul Skip. Rounding out your top 5 is Tyler Lingenberg. In 6 going to be Tony Watson, Doug Buchanan, Brad McCombs, Matt Odell in 9th. In 10th is going to be Jimmy Covert, battling through a lot of issues. Very unfortunate for him. Sean Atkins in 11th. Then we have the GT3A car of Aaron Clayball. Actually, let's just go ahead and do this the right way. There we go. Then we got Nick Terrell, Derek Sherman, Bryce Anderson, pretty far back there. Luis Riviera Colin in 15th, 16th of the GTEs. Josh Klinger, Curtis Kelly, then Kevin Dahlia leading, finishing us out. In the GT3A class, we got Aaron Clayball, Jeff Ripley, Nicholas Paletti, Mark Thomas, Paul Boyle rounding out the top 5. 6 going to be Daniel Barnett, Carl Handwerk, Marcus Osborne in 8th, Kevin Berquist in 9th, Kevin Roycraft 10th, 11th Daniel Hingley, Mark Herzog in 12th, Gary Schilling in 13th, 14th Timothy Emmanuel. For the GT3B class, we have Mark Dillon Jr. in the Flamethrower, William Alcala barely squeezing out, Roger Shank in 2nd, then 4th, Gareth McAllister, Thaddeus Marshall in 5th, Dave Vieira in 6th, Connor Daly 7th, and Zachary Nuremberger in 8th, Atticus Middleton in 9th, and Zachary Purcell in 10th. So, folks, that'll do it for us here in the booth. We appreciate the heck out of you for watching. I've been James Riles, of course, with Esports Broadcasting Network. Be sure to like, share, follow, all that good stuff, and we will see you next week.